femininity coach, intuitive psychic, and today I want to share with you how to heal your unconscious or program your unconscious toxicity or sabotage with men. Now, this is a very interesting video because if you're watching this, you either acknowledge that there's some toxicity you suspected, or at least you're curious. Now, if you didn't think maybe I would never be toxic with men, or there's nothing that I need to work on, maybe that's true, but sometimes we can have a bias and a way in which we lie to ourselves as women. Why? Because the truth is, a lot of women go to this space learning around love, right? Like we do. We are constant learners, leaders are learners, right? Just learning always doesn't make you feel that good, and you got to be okay with receiving feedback, right? So if you are not willing to check in and check yourself if and to see if you are operating under toxicity, you have a big bias that can actually impact a really good relationship. So how do you go about this? Now, one of the things that first got me into this was the understanding. Somebody said to me, Nicole, if you don't work on your love life, you're more than likely to repeat the same patterns that or mistakes that your parents had. And that was like a bucket of cold water for me, like a huge bucket of cold water, because this is before when I first started, because my parents were not happy. But one of my biggest wishes was that they were. And the truth is, actually, let me just do one little thing in case before. All right. All right. So my parents were not happy at all. And I wanted them to be. But you cannot be happy if you don't take feedback or if you don't check in. So I knew I needed to learn more about love, and I decided to be humble about it. And that's always been my biggest driver. I want to be able to listen to the truth, pick up truth, and show up better. Okay? Now, what happens for a lot of women is that you want to learn about love because you want to be chosen, or that's what society teaches you that you need to do. No, this is something that is necessary to shift and change, and I'm going to share with you how and certain things that will help you do so. Hello there. Nice to see you. So, why is this a bias? Because women are great storytellers. We are constantly telling stories, right? Like you call your girlfriend to talk about what happened in your relationship, and you try to soothe yourself through what you tell. Because women's biggest defense mechanism is fawn, it's pleasing. So women are experts at sharing something. Somebody's laughing. Ah. So biggest, like women's biggest flex, sincerely, and the it is a fawn response, which is pleasing, which is needing to look good above all things. So you go to therapists, you go to coaches, you go to different places, and you tell the story sometimes that makes you look the best. And this is one of the reasons why relationships sometimes don't evolve or don't grow, because of a lack of accountability, right? My name is Nicole Lisa. Thank you for being here. So, do you lack accountability? I want you to ask, and remember, I'm also a psychic, so I want you to just visualize yourself connected to your highest light, to your highest self, and simply ask how open I am to accountability. Now, when you're really open for accountability, your relationship can grow. If you, I hear how this sounds mean, but that's what I'm here to say. If you have two toddlers going at a relationship where you always need to be right, then you become toxic yourselves, and you cannot really be in a relationship or in partnership because you are lacking accountability. Now, if you're watching a bunch of videos that are always telling you that you're right, but you can never be wrong, then it just creates for a huge, just a huge point where a relationship could fall apart very easily. Okay. So I wanted to share with you, I'm actually, for those of you that are joining and that are resonating with this video, there's an event that I'm hosting today. It's a clearing event. It helps reprogram your nervous system from lies, stressors that make you just create a lot of toxicity in your life. And it's called Peaceful, and it's going to help you reprogram yourself so that you can be open to truth versus falsehood. Okay. So I am from Panama. Thank you for joining me. So, as I was saying, accountability is necessary. Two, women are great storytellers. Okay. And I want to share how a lot of women are looking up videos in the self development industry, in particular to partnership, because sometimes it starts from a fearful belief that you're not going to get love if you don't do it. Now, I want you to invite you to learn about love from joy because you trust that you're going to get it and you want to learn how to love somebody better. Love yourself better, love somebody better, not because you're afraid that you won't get love. So, with that being said, the come from is very critical because as women are learning more about what's going on within them and about their attachment styles, some, okay, use their anxious attachment style to control and or the avoiding attachment style to control because the avoidance might have a hard time listening to feedback because it feels like an attack, all right? And or the anxious person is secretly having a belief that love is going to be hard and or that it's going to be painful or that men are not going to choose them. So they try to become the man's mother, therapist, or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's okay, it's safe and good for partners to give each other feedback and to help each other. Of course, that's natural. Now, a lot of women do it because they secretly don't believe that they're going to get love. And it's a control tactic and manipulation. So here's what I notice. Women are learning about, attachment style. They're also learning about their sexuality and their sexual energy. And I don't even know what super chat is. Can you let me know what super chat is? If you can let me know, I'll be glad to do it. Does it exist? All right. Okay, I don't know what super chat is, but if you tell me, I'll gladly do it. So then you're reading and watching a bunch of stuff about sexual energy around your chakras and how to get love and how to have like the best, whatever, and how to be like the most, like please, right? So fawn again. But here's the catch. In order for you to accurately perceive truth, it's a thing that your lower chakras are open, right? That's why you want to learn about all these things. But then your higher chakras could be kind of off or confused because you're listening to content that teaches you dark femininity, which is how to manipulate, and you think that's okay. See, as long as you have a shadow of controlling, of believing that you have to control to get love or you have to manipulate, or that love isn't going to be easy, how you interact with that scarcity-based thought will guide you into further degrees of pain, okay? And then you stop connecting your joy or accessing your joy because even though you're trying to access pleasure from your lower chakras and what you're learning, the come from is toxic, okay? Because it's coming from scarcity. The moment you started listening to dark femininity content out there, teaching you how to manipulate and how to play with a man's mind, and you think it's fair because men do it to women too, you lost the plot because you're believing inherently that men are toxic and that there's no good men out there. And in order for you to tap into dark femininity coaching, you have to know that what you're doing is you've had to have lost faith somewhere. In order for you to operate out of manipulation, you've got to lose faith. And you don't want to do that. So this video is to help you get back to faith. That's why I'm doing this event called Peaceful. It's helping you tap it into self-trust. And it's helping you to truly believe in an abundant love that's going to come to you. Like you don't have to manipulate. Like if you're watching a lot of stuff out there that tells you it's very hard, for men to like you, love you, choose you, or men are manipulative or toxic or whatever, that's not a masculine trait. That's a people trait. Like people that are toxic that are consciously toxic, not somebody that's unconsciously doing it. They've made a choice. Although you never want to take hope away from somebody because people can change from their patterns. And it's kind of eerie when you hear people in the coaching space or therapeutic world speaking as if people cannot change. But the thing is that people have got to want to change. Now, it's very easy for a woman to point out a toxicity in men, but can you point out when you are being toxic, when you're trying to manipulate. And that's the gap that I want to talk about and discuss, because I'm not calling you a narcissist, but pay attention to this. What's the number one thing that we know that narcissists have a hard time with? Is taking accountability, because they feel so much shame and so much anger and so much guilt that they split from reality, and they go into a delusional world where they're always right. They cannot receive feedback. I'm not calling you a narcissist. What I am saying though is that a lot of the people that you're learning these principles for, where you're always right, right, and they're teaching you to manipulate, a good 80% of them could be narcissists. Okay, so you have got to be able to have the discernment to realize when you are receiving teaching online that's based in a lack of accountability, okay? And one of the skill sets that makes you a safe person to a man is that you're not trying to manipulate him. And you got to really check in within yourself to know that, because you want to know that you have to deeply believe that you never want to control a man to be with you. You want him to be with you because he wants to. So for whatever reason, I'm seeing like the archetype of like the witchy woman that controls. I don't know what that is, but I feel for some, like a Disney character, it's going to connect. Okay. So here it is. I've personally seen a lot of people who go to self-development spaces, a lot of women in particular, wanting for somebody to throw flowers at them. And this is a general video because this is the purpose of the clearing that we're doing today and on Wednesday for Peaceful, is you have to want to know truth, or else here you have like blinders on, and that slows down your manifestations. Women who cannot take accountability, I hear, are dangerous. They're absolutely dangerous because they're, I hear, victims for life. And they just want to hear how lovable they are to a point of delusion. So this is not you. This is not you, but some of the women that you're listening to, or some of the coaching that you're receiving, or like therapy, whatever, is coming from that angle. So in order for you to become a safe woman, you have to be able to receive feedback from yourself, from your higher self, from God, source, your angels, and from your man, if he's a trustworthy man, right? And it has to, you have to check in within your nervous system that you're not taking it as competition. You're not trying to be above him. You're not trying to control him. You can both love each other peacefully, all right? I hope this is clicking, and I hope it resonates. I hear some women have a compassion bias about themselves. Some women want more compassion than truth. Okay? I hear that one is going to resonate for a lot of people. So, what is it that you want? Okay? Do you want to be connected to truth? Do you want to feel truth? Do you want to know the truth? Or do you want to be liked? Okay? So, the first step that it is required for you to heal any toxicity or reprogramming that you have towards men is a willingness to hear the truth, sense the truth, okay? Want the truth above all things, and know that the truth is going to be loving, and the truth is going to heal you. 2, you want to work on any self-sabotage where you can feel like you can receive accurate feedback without, it's like you have to clear your shame and your guilt or any perceived sense of failure or assuming that feedback is attack from your nervous system. Because if your nervous system is, let's say if you grew up in a household where you're always criticized, which is one of the reasons why you might just want compassion more than truth in your like everyday to day response, like reality with other people, then you want to work on that in your nervous system so that you can receive feedback. And one of the things that it's actually excellent to add to your nervous system when you reprogram it. So I do kinesiology-based sessions, nervous system reprogramming sessions. Other than being intuitive, that helps you really integrate this. And why is this important? Because you have to tell your nervous system, rewire your nervous system to trust that you're lovable, you're beautiful no matter what. It's safer and good for you to make mistakes without being attacked or judged. And once your nervous system perceives that or is integrated well within that, it can accurately receive feedback without slipping into, I hear, delusion or fear or angst or feeling like you're being attacked, because these things disrupt intimacy and it creates a wall where your man or your, I hear, husband cannot connect with you. So you have to be able to know, I hear, like your nervous system's got to know that you're forgiven, that you're safe, that even if somebody leaves, you're good and you can receive feedback. You got to show that you want to grow, okay? It's just some of us grew up with so much criticism that it's hard to receive that feedback, and I get that. Now, if you work on your nervous system to feel okay with receiving feedback, knowing that not all of it is an attack, because some can be, some people might try to attack you, but if your nervous system knows that you are lovable no matter what, then you're not controlling to go get it or try to force a man to see you in a particular way, okay? That energy is very relaxing. That energy is extremely magnetic, and it does make the difference. Now, this is one of the reasons why there are such archetypes of women, like a helicopter woman or somebody that's just like in your business so much that doesn't let you breathe, because there is a lack of trust there. I had an alarm come through. So, because there's a lack of trust there, you might not be open to truth, and you might just be in so much self-protection mode that you don't realize when you're hurting people or you're kind of emanating a chaos. I don't know how to put that into words, but it's true. It's like the energy feels chaotic. It's distressed versus one that is peaceful, where you know that you're lovable no matter what. You know that you're not chasing or trying to get that from someone. You just know that, therefore you receive it without chasing it, right? Also, how this helps with men is that it just feels different. A lot of men are used to being controlled by women, and it feels like they're dating their mom, right? So you don't want that, right? Love is freedom. Love is freedom. So join me on Peaceful. I think today or tomorrow is going to be the last day to join. It's a 3-day event where we're helping you move into self-trust, helping your nervous system feel safe, and not, because that's what I pick up on. It's like a chaotic vibration or field where in order for somebody to manipulate, it's because they're not trusting love. They feel like love is outside of them, and they lie to themselves a lot. So one of the things that we're going to work on, that we're working on, is clearing from your nervous system and from your aura any way you lie to yourself, you create excuses to yourself. I hear you live through the world feeling victimized, and victimized doesn't mean that you're like not powerful. It just means that somewhere you don't feel like you're going to get love, or things are not going to work out for you. So the minutia there, because I hear you could be a millionaire, you can be a 6-figure business owner, you could be doing a lot of things, but you might just somewhere in the area of love feel like you're not going to get what you need, and you need to control, or you need to baby, or you need to foster. Like, I don't know why I'm hearing that. Like, we're going to clear the minutia that makes you feel not trusting that love is going to work out for you, that you cannot trust people. And I hear that creates a lot of chaos because you become so recluse. And then we're going to program in the self-trust, the peace, the lack of judgment, so that you allow love in, prosperity in, joy in. You become a happy manifester, joyful manifester, all right? So the link is below. It's only $222 US, and you're going to get the recording, and you can work on your aura and on your nervous system for however long you want to. And what's fun about this is that you're going to feel, receive results within, here, at most weeks. At most weeks. This is the most effective work that I know out there in regards to healing. And I wish that for you. I care. So Please comment. I care about your well-being. I care about you being happy. And comments would really help this channel because I feel like it was maybe banned. And I know why. Some people like my content and then use it and pass it as their own, and then they try to demote my videos. But with a strong community, that can be fixed. So I wish you well, and I would love to hear from you. And I would love to see you today at 4 p.m. Central, and see you on Wednesday as well for Peaceful. Take care.